Hey everybody, good morning. I figure I'll do this in the sun. Because it doesn't come into this room more than about a half an hour a day. This is the back room of my garage. And that's my little office, my recording room, whatever. This video is a review of the movie Kumare. And I think everyone who's on any spiritual path whatsoever should watch this movie. It was phenomenal. And it came as a synchronicity. I didn't expect it. I came home late last night and I turned on Netflix and there it was as one of the top movies. It must have just came out. And it was a guru looking guy on the cover, so I thought, I wonder what it's about, you know. Well, long story short, the movie is about a normal guy from New Jersey whose family moved from India, and he decides that he's going to dress up as a guru and pretend to be a guru and go to some other state where no one's heard of him and start these classes. And it is so well done. I mean, it is so eye-opening because it was right on the top of my list of things that I've been wondering for a long time is, you know, I've had all these serious questions about gurus, you know, the authenticity of gurus. It has nothing to do with whether a guru is trying to fraud someone, because that's not what I think is happening. I think it's that a person becomes spiritually enlightened, others see that, they tell the person, oh wow, you seem so spiritually awake, you know, and then the person starts almost building an ego on the fact that other people see him as enlightened. And this always bugged me about the Buddha story, because Buddha's followers followed him until the day he died. And I thought, you know, that's a waste. I mean, if you're out there learning and you're, you know, moving forward, why do you need to follow a teacher your entire life? This is attachment to a man. And it's the ultimate sin. It's attachment to something that's not yourself. Anyway, and this, anyone who wants to see the show, I'm not going to spoil it for you because it's too good. But there's not really much to spoil. The fact is, you know, the whole movie is just about him starting these classes, and he starts his own yoga type, his own chants. He makes up this whole backstory behind who he is. And everybody just says, oh, I can just feel his vibes. He goes to psychics, and they're like, I can see your aura. I can see the other Kumares behind you. It was a phenomenal exploration into how a person's mental state and how they perceive themselves, how they present themselves, can rub off so intensely on those around him. And I'm not going to say that psychics are frauds or that people don't need help. I'm just saying that for the most part, if you can put more of your own thoughts and your own energy into a situation, you can completely alter that situation just by power of the mind and power of suggestion, should I say, you know. Now, if he'd walked in with the same, he grew his hair and his beard out and everything. Now, if he'd done that and he didn't wear the fancy robe or the orange robe or whatever, it probably wouldn't have flown. You know, people want this all-around look from a person who's a guru. You very rarely see a guru who doesn't have a beard or some sort of dreadlocks or hair tied up or a hat or a robe or something that identifies him. And in the end of the movie, I'm not even going to spoil it because you have to see it if you haven't seen it, but that movie, I give it fucking I give it 3 thumbs up, man, because it was just one guy's exploration. He wanted to know, and he moved here from India with his family, but he never really fell for the spiritual practice, and then it was later when he was searching. And I think we're all searching for that. I think we're all searching for the meaning in life and seeking to have assistance by those who have already been through what we've been through. And I think it's easy for us to forget that no one has been through what we've been through as individuals. They may have had a similar circumstance or a similar situation, but no two snowflakes are alike. And in this regard, each person has to deal with their own situation on their own terms. And that's why that movie, like documentary, was so important to me, to show me and show other people that no, you don't need to attach yourself to a leader in order to fruit or show yourself. Now, a lot of people need direction. They need assistance. I'm a very headstrong fellow. I have very little desire to be shown things. I like to experiment on my own. You know, you could tell me 1,000 times, don't step on that, it's going to break. And I'll do it anyway just to see it break. I've been known to break shit in my hands just to see it happen. I mean, even though I know what's going to happen, it's like I'm a doer. I don't like to be told how things are. So I'll learn from other people, but eventually I have to apply that knowledge, and I think everyone should do that too. Some people need direction sometimes, and it's a lot harder for A lot of people work a normal 9 to 5 job, and they've always lived with just a normal, whatever you would call normal, I guess. There's no normal, but your average family, whether it be a Christian family or a non-religious family, whatever. And then at one point in their life, they hit this block where they want more. They're seeking more. Often it's when the kids leave the nest. Sometimes it's when you have kids. Everyone has it at different times. So my point is that through history, so many people have been trying to put this into a box, into a book, into a system, a way to live that works for everyone, and it will never happen. I've had people refer me to the Bible. That doesn't work for everyone. I'm sorry, it does nothing. There's no book that works for everyone, and there's no leader or guru or spiritual teacher that's going to be able to teach everyone everything they need to know. So all a person can do is lead you on the right path. So I guess I'm making this to say, if you have a guru or you have a teacher or someone you go to see or a yoga instructor or whatnot, just let them set you on your own path. If you need the structure of the class or whatever you go to, that's fine. That's understandable, because I know how that is. But if you're going because you don't feel comfortable doing and learning things on your own, you can do it. I mean, everybody has that strength. In fact, the guy in the documentary made up his yoga poses, and he taught classes with these made-up yoga poses, and people said they could feel this and that. Well, they can. And it's perfect timing, because I had practiced Kundalini yoga, and I started intermixing and making my own poses and my own motions. And I was mixing them with some Kundalini with some Carlos Castaneda and his magical passes from Don Juan, and mixing that with a little bit of contemporary yoga and a little bit of all the different types that I run across, because there's no one practice that has to work for everyone, and there's no one practice that's going to work for one person either. I think that everybody needs to expand their horizons and see that the world's a much bigger place, and that there are many, many paths to find your truth. And the sooner people realize that, that's when our society is going to come together. I think that's when the people are really going to make the big changes to become a better society, is once people can pass on to their children the importance of tolerance and understanding, and stop pressuring people to follow a path that's similar to yours to make yourself feel more comfortable. Because I think that's what's happening a lot, is one person has followed a path, it's worked for them, they don't want to deny that it might not be the right path, they don't want to admit that it might not be the right path for them or for someone else, but they have to hold steadfast to that, and that belief that it is the way, because they've put so much time and effort into it. So when another person comes along saying, oh, I don't believe your book, I believe this book, but that's okay if you believe that, the person gets all upset about it because it's not the same book as they believe. And I think that's where the religions draw the lines, is the tolerance and intolerance, and the pressure to convert and the pressure not to. And that's why the Indian way of life, the yogi way of life, is so much more fulfilling. But if you get stuck following someone around as a leader, then you've already lost the battle. It should be a short-lived thing. You should use spiritual teachers to learn from. And the most intense spiritual teachers in history have told you, do not follow me, find your own path, for it is indeed the only path there is.